But you're a big manifester too, right?
I really am. I
Like,
don't know if you can tell with my sparkly ass
yeah.
outfit.
Are you like, I remember like in one of your songs, I think it's like, I'm dreaming of like where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, you quite literally manifested that and doing shows and doing your thing.
Yeah.
Are you like a very spiritual person?
I think so, yeah. Like, I try not to be like that cringy spiritual guy, but I really am. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy putting things out into the world and seeing it come to life. And I think that's just the part of spirituality that is inherent. Like, everything you want is in you already.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time, but like understanding yourself is like understanding the world.
Yeah.
You know? So I just think like everything's a projection. So I'm always about like manifesting, you know? 'Cause
You got to though. Or were you religious growing up?
I was, yeah. I was very religious growing up, but
Right.
I think I kind of moved away from organized religion in general.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't resonating with me at the time. But who knows? Like, I could always find my way back to it. I feel like religion is always like a very internal discussion for me. Like, I don't really like to like be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
Even with spirituality, oh, I'm spiritual. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
It's always changing.
Oh, what religion did you grow up as?
I grew up Muslim.
Me too. Gotcha. I went the same way. It's more so you have this organized religion and then you start looking beyond that and realizing that maybe morality isn't held by like a book or a standard, but by you.
Yeah.
I think walking out of that kind of reshapes the way you think.
Yeah, and I think like, even for example, like people grew up always saying like, oh, Allah is the creator, for example.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, you know, like your creator is whoever, like there is a bigger force.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things for me. Like, if there's a bigger force, however you interpret it, doesn't matter. Like, it's up to you to interpret it the way you want.
Yeah.
And if it aligns with your morality, then it's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Works out. I still align with my morality, like, regardless of what I believe in. So.
Exactly. Gotcha. And were you like in high school, or, like college, and you kind of stepped away from it? And did you get any flack for it? Or is it something very personal and to you, more internal?
It's something very internal. Like, I don't think there was ever a time where I was like, I'm deciding to stop believing something.
Yeah.
Because I never did. I never stopped believing anything.
Yeah.
To believe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a philosophical thing for sure. It's like, I believe everything.
Mm-hmm.
If I believe something isn't true, that isn't true.
Yeah.
You know? Anything is possible. Everything could be true.
Exactly.
But everything could also be untrue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the type to be like finite and like
Yeah.
cut it off or like that. No, it was never like that. It was a very internal thing where like, oh, maybe I don't practice this as much anymore. That doesn't mean I don't believe in it or don't respect it. I just don't practice it.
Mm-hmm. And so nothing's like binary to you.
Nothing is binary. I'm
Yeah.
clear. Nothing is binary.
Nothing's binary. Not religion, not sex. Everything we're open for.
No, for real. Because queer is like an embodiment. It's about like destroying those standards.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things are like things that we're socialized to.
Mhm.
Social major coming in, but you know, queerness is like an embodiment. I believe it in every aspect of life. Like nothing is finite. Nothing has to be one or the other, you know?
Was that a journey you had to have, or was that something easier for you to walk into?
It was like something that I felt like I was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was like a free spirit as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I always like very like, everybody should be allowed to do what they want.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't hurt anyone, do what you want, you know?
That's fine. And so it was never like, oh, I'm scared. Like, no, that's me.
No. It was never scared. It was always like, REHMA, you gotta be confident if you want people to believe you, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you get that from your mom?
Oh, 100%. When she's in her, like, era where she wants to be confident, like, she's like a Cancer moon, you know? She wants to be, like, in her little bubble. But when she's, like, with her friends, she's the funniest one in the room. Like, I'm not kidding. She's
Awesome.
She's that bitch, yeah.
What star sign are you?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. What is that exactly? Educate me a bit.
I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm an Aries, that's all I am, because I'm also a Leo rising and a Libra moon. So, I don't know. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, oh, damn, like, you can step on people. And I was like, no, I promise. I promise I don't want to step on anyone. Like, I think it just means I'm, like, passionate.
Gotcha. I mean,
passionate and balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Grounded with a lot of the earth signs in my chart. Do you know anything about your chart?
I'm just an Aquarius.
You just know that you're an Aquarius.
I've been told it's like a very freeing person, but also a red flag.
Well, also, I think you're resonating with my free spirit
Yeah.
because you're an Aquarius, probably. You're
Really?
probably like, oh, like, I like, you know. I want to know your rising, though.
I think it's Aries. I think it's Aries. I looked it up and I went to this little thing. It's like, okay, Aquarius and then Aries.
You could totally be an Aries rising.
What makes I don't even know the difference between like the risings and the suns. It's
Sometimes people tell you like your rising can emulate on your facial features, and I'm looking at your facial features and I'm like, maybe you could be an Aries rising.
what?
Yeah, maybe.
Do I look like an Aries rising? That's interesting. Do you know where like that came from? Like, is there a science to it?
I'll be dead ass with you. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So just ignore that.
It's just vibes.
I mean, literally, like, I'm not an astrology pro. I research it a lot and I read about it a lot, but I don't consider myself someone who can be like, oh, you're this. This is why you're like this.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I'll just tell you, Aries, Leo, Libra for me, I'm passionate. Aquarius, you guys are vibes. I like you guys.